Welcome to The Current. Some of the most underestimated businesses are often the hardest to build because from the outside, the business can look simple. You turn up, you do the work, you send the invoice. But anyone who's actually built one knows the truth is very different. Behind the scenes, it takes systems, people, process, constant problem solving, and relentless operational discipline just to make it work profitably. My guest today has lived that firsthand. They've helped scale a service business quite rapidly, saw what happens when growth outpaces structure, then rebuilt the business stronger and more efficiently, and is now using those very lessons to build software for the very industry they came from. This is a conversation about growth, mistakes, rebuilding smarter, and what happens when operators stop just running the business and start building solutions. Today, I'm joined by Rhianna, co-founder of Mackeys Cleaning. Rhianna, welcome to The Current. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure's mine. We're looking forward to unpacking your journey, learning a bit more, and also, as we did hint, about this new software that you're going to be releasing
Yep.
very soon. Exciting to talk about that. So, Ryan, to begin, let's start right at the beginning, because obviously we know your route to the business is not exactly traditional. We know your co-founder and partner, Chris, he came from the industry, but you
Yep.
came in through a little bit of a different route. You better just maybe talk me through how you ended up stepping into the business?
Yeah. So for me, entrepreneurship was never really in the cards. I was very much a corporate girly, wanting to scale, wanting to progress. So I started my career in retail and worked my way up to senior retail and was very much living paycheck to paycheck, loving what I was getting, not really knowing there was anything else out there for me. And it wasn't until I met Chris and we got together and I started to really pay attention to his business. Well, at first, I didn't really pay attention to his business. I just kind of thought, why are you never off work? Why do you always work all the time? And then just started to notice more, asking more questions. And then, long story short, we ended up partnering together in business, which is something that people say um, couples should never do. But for us, it's really worked out the complete opposite to what the norm should be. And I think that being that we have two separate sides of the business, interior and exterior, that we're able to work really well together, but not be side by side all day, which really, really helps. So we ended up partnering back in 2018. Started off just sort of a few residential cleans, housing, that sort of stuff, and just kind of got the buzz for seeing how much you could earn like away from the norm. So we started to scale really fast, especially over COVID, which is something that we weren't expecting. We were expecting, of course, everyone else being furloughed, everyone was at home. We were out there. We built a massive commercial team. We were out there every single day, just making a lot of money over COVID, which kind of gave us that buzz for commercial cleaning. So we already had the exterior side. We started to build the interior side, pivoted from residential into commercial. Everything was going really well. And then we kind of lost track of what was going on. We scaled way too fast. We hit the VAT threshold way too quickly. We were slapped with a huge VAT bill that we had we could not pay it at all. So we had to restructure our whole company, divide into two businesses, pretty much start from scratch again, which was such a learning curve, especially when you have a team, you have people relying on you for income, for hours, all that sort of stuff. So we definitely have been on a roller coaster of a journey. So if you want me to talk about how we rebuilt it and stuff, I can do that too.
Thank you for sharing that as well. It gives us a nice bit of context as well. So yeah, because I think you're right. A lot of people think that growth, more work, more money is going to solve the problems.
Yeah.
I think sometimes they just expose problems that are there and hidden. So maybe could you just dive a little
100%.
bit deeper? What sort of problems began to show up as you began to grow?
For us, where our growth was happening really quickly, we obviously had to hire quickly. We weren't hiring the best people for the roles. We were hiring to fill the role. So over time started to show, we'd have cleans that were getting complaints. We'd have people not showing up to certain places and getting paid for it. And it was obviously all our reputation on the line. And where we were scaling too fast, I was still very much in the day-to-day cleaning. Chris was in the day-to-day. So not only are we cleaning 40 hours a week, we're managing a team who are also cleaning 40 hours a week. So the whole thing was built on just rush and stress and demand that wasn't really catered for, if that makes
Yeah, that
sense.
makes sense. Yeah, completely. Yeah. It's almost like you were in a bit of a bottleneck. So you just had to make some quick decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think the impressive part is that you didn't just keep pushing and think, oh, we'll get through it. You actually took that humble step back and began to rebuild things properly. Could
Yeah.
you maybe just talk about what sort of things you began to do and what that actually meant on a practical aspect?
I'd say the biggest learning curve for us was when I lost my biggest contract. It was bringing in around 30 grand a year. But at the time, that was huge for us for one contract. And I'll be honest with you, I cried my eyes out. I couldn't believe what was happening. I couldn't believe they didn't want us anymore. And I think that really made me take a step back and realize I'm not the face of the cleaning. We need to really pivot and we need to make our company the face of the cleaning, not just Rhianna and Chris. And that was such a learning curve for us. And then fast forward from that was in 2021 and now we're in 2026. You wouldn't even know who runs this company anymore, except obviously I'm here now. But the standards that we have across the board are second to none. Every cleaner is treated exactly the same at every contract. And for us, that's such a pivotal moment compared to where we were before.
Yeah, I heard that a lot. It's about working yourself out of the business in the
Yeah.
best way possible because then things don't depend on you. Yeah, that's interesting. What sort of things would you say operationally did you change? Did you implement any new? Obviously, we're going to get into software a bit later. Is there anything you began to see some patterns forming?
So, coming from a retail background, specifically in HR, I brought my interview methods and training methods from there into Mackeys. So we really changed the way we structured how we hire people, diligence that we do, onboarding that we do, which in turn has created long-term employees rather than such a quick churn rate through staff, which has really helped.
Yeah, that's impressive because you're right. There's a high churn rate, especially in a service-based industry. So yeah, I guess that's really important. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you did mention to me as well that the business now is intentionally quite lean because obviously small teams. Yeah,
After our chat the other day, I was doing some maths and we've now got to a point where one van can make us 100 grand. Yeah, which is really impressive.
yeah,
That's something that we're really proud of. And I sort of sat back for a minute and thought, huh, we've come a long way.
yeah. That's really impressive. I mean,
Yeah.
especially because
But
I mean,
kudos to Chris. That's him and the way where we've had all these problems. He's sort of watched from the sidelines and built. So we've built commercial and exterior side by side. So the mistakes that have happened in my side, he's like troubleshooted before they've happened. And the way we built exterior now is second to none.
yeah. I'd like to actually, take a bit of a dive back. You mentioned something earlier, which I think is going to be quite useful about obviously doing this with your partner. And traditionally, yes, some people think, oh, I don't want to spend any more time with my partner and end up killing them. But
Yeah.
you're managing to make it work. What would you say are the benefits of maybe coming into a relationship, or maybe not a relationship, a partnership, I should say, with, someone that you're in a relationship?
I'll be honest with you, we don't listen to each other. We see the figures, we see the facts, we tell each other what we think we should do with the business, and we go and do our own thing anyway,
Mm,
which is not great advice. But I think when you're way too in each other's heads and battling on who's right and who's wrong, that's where a lot of the conflict will happen in business. And then you'll bring it home with you as well. We base a lot on data. So if the data's telling us what to do, then we'll follow it. If it's not, I'll follow my gut, he'll follow his. And I think just for us over the last 8 years, that's worked really well.
that makes sense. Yeah, taking the emotion out of it and just thinking
Yeah.
about the numbers. And then, yeah, quick question following up from that. How do you manage to detach from a work day to this is home day, let's switch the brains off? Have you found any
We
ways, any
don't.
key?
We don't at all. I can talk about work all day, every day. It drives him mad because now, obviously, we built our software. All our evenings now are on CADI. CADI this, CADI that, software, all this stuff. And for me, it lights me up. But for him, it drains him. It drains him. So we just kind of do our own thing. We have a ton of kids as well and dogs. So that really takes up a lot of our time when we get home from work. And the beauty of our business is we can really be flexible around the kids. So one of us will always be with them.
Yeah, that's nice. I guess that's the benefit of having your own business. As much as it's a roller coaster, you do have that
Yeah.
freedom.
Yeah,
Amazing, yeah.
100%.
And I think I'm right in assuming that you help others in this space too, as well. So just like to get your perspective. Where do most cleaning or service-based businesses maybe get it wrong? What advice would you give to those up?
I'd say the biggest thing I've seen over helping cleaning businesses is not trusting their own decisions,
Mm,
is they have ideas, but they need someone to confirm yes or no, go for it. And that's the biggest hurdle that I really help businesses overcome, sorry, is that they need to go with their gut. It's their business. They know how it works. They know how it feels when they're running it, and they really need to go with their gut decisions. So I found, well, I've told a lot of business owners, you're literally paying me to tell you yes or no. You know the answers, but you just need that clarification, which again is why we built CADI. One of the taglines that I'm playing with is the co-founder in your pocket, where it's really sort of business advice kind of wound into AI software. So CADI will give you little tips and tricks on your business based on the data, like I was just saying, how me and Chris run our business, and saves cleaners hundreds of pounds in coaching fees, maybe even thousands.
wow, yeah. Yeah, you're right, and I think I see that as well a lot. Sometimes people know what to do, but it's fear, maybe it's, your own limiting beliefs, but just having the confidence to follow through it. And, yeah,
100%.
and I think you're right as well. There's a big difference between being good at your trade, whatever that is, and then being good at business and building around it. Now, of course, at some point, your mindset clearly shifted from just running jobs. You started to think bigger. So
Yeah.
when did you realize, obviously not just thinking about Caddy, but the business itself, that maybe there's a bigger opportunity than just this business?
So when I joined the business back in 2018, my role was supposed to be scaling up Chris's window cleaning company. At the time, all he did was windows. So we did scale into roof cleaning, pressure washing, gutters, all that jazz. But there's something about just sitting in front of a computer all day that doesn't sit well with me. I need to go and do something else at the same time. So I thought I'll just start advertising for jobs, like for cleaning clients, and see where this goes. And it took off that fast that I ended up just working all day, every day, alongside having majority of our children. So for me, I just need to keep busy all the time,
Mm.
which is why I've always got little side projects going on.
Ren, actually, I'd like to ask you a bit of a personal question. Like, don't feel free to give too much. I think there could be some other potential parents and mothers out there who maybe are a little bit entrepreneurial, but they worry about maybe being able to still have time with their kids or be able to balance that. What advice would you
Yeah.
give to someone who's maybe thinking about, look, I don't want to give too much time away from my kids, but I also want to pursue a career or an entrepreneur? What advice would you give them?
For me, the comments I've got a lot over the years of being a mother and a business owner slash working is, I don't know how you do it all. I hear it on repeat everywhere I go. They'll see me in my work uniform, they'll see me with the kids and just say, I don't know how you do it all. You're like a super mum.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know what advice I could give because I don't think I'm the norm. I don't think this is normal to enjoy working this much and spending as much time with my kids as I can. So I think I've sort of beat the system in that way, which is what we do have a lot of mums who come under our programming Clash Rover Cleaners who want to start a cleaning business. At first, we set them up with 5 hours a day and how to maximize your time, how to maximize your money, sorry, in school hours or in nursery hours, how to get set up in all that side, especially now as nursery hours are free for 9 months and over. It really helps mums getting back into work. And then where we can get them into cleaning for around 25, £30 an hour from day one, they don't know any different then.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. And I think you're to be commended as well because you just do it, you make it work.
Just do
And
it.
yeah, yeah. Like, no, joke. If we need a sponsorship. No, I
I
like
don't think that's a great advice, but it's just, yeah, what I do.
but it's real.
Yeah.
It's real. And it clearly works for you and if it works for you, and I think you're right, yeah, break the system.
Yeah.
You know, pursue what you're passionate. Who says you can't? Why not? Why not you? Why not you? And I think that
I think,
definitely I don't know you
sorry to interrupt you.
carry on, please.
Just for what really did it for me was when I had my oldest son, who's now 13, I was still working in retail, and I obviously had the basic maternity leave, then had to go back to work, and I had to put him into nursery straight away, which took up majority of my income. But from a pride point of view, I couldn't give up work.
Mm,
So I made it work. I had no money and I just wanted to show, yeah, I'm a working mum. I can do this. And then when I had my daughter with Chris, I saw it very differently and thought there has to be another way to do this, which is then why I started to work with the 5 hour system and how to maximize your money within school hours, which I now teach others.
Yes, amazing. It's lived experience. Again, you've done it, so you can help others do that. Amazing. Yeah. Now we will get onto it because I know you can talk a lot about this, which will be good, and we're looking forward to see the passion as well. But before we get into CADI,
Yeah.
what was the frustration that you had with existing tools? What's the sort of things you saw thinking, what is going on here? The bit of a hole in the industry that you saw.
So for me, I first of all, I had separate tools to Chris, which did separate things for interior and commercial cleaning versus exterior cleaning. So we were running our business on two separate tools, which started off maybe £30 a month each. We then had our accounting tools that wouldn't talk to the scheduling systems that we were using. Again, another expense. And then we had our staff planning, which we were running on separate scheduling tools as well. So nothing was speaking to each other within the business, which was really frustrating because if I say I was ill or something, Chris wouldn't know how to run my side. I wouldn't know how to run his side. I had some of my team telling him what to do. He had his team telling me what to do, and none of it was flowing. And I just thought there has to be something out there. So I started doing free trials on different scheduling software, different phone apps, and nothing was really clicking. And I just thought, before I pay for the software, I need to see if it's any good. And none of them were working for me. They were just annoying me. So I built my own.
Yeah, that makes sense. So now thinking about CADI in a rather practical terms, what does it do? What problem does it solve? If you could just throw me a few top
So
features.
CADI is basically an all-in-one software for cleaning businesses. You've got your scheduling, you've got your pricing, you've got your staff management, you've got your built-in accounting, which will run all your MTD tax submissions and your VAT returns straight to HMRC. It's really elaborate software that we're running at great prices. It's not hundreds of pounds a month that you think you'd be paying in accounting fees. We have an in-house accountant within the software that I'm really proud of. And it's something that's just not out there in the market. Everything is specific for cleaning companies. So every little input you put in will give you the best profit margins, will give you pricing ideas, will really show you how to run your cleaning business profitably. Profit, you know what I'm trying to say. So you're confident. Like how it goes back to the decision making. CADI is going to help you make those decisions without paying hundreds and thousands in accounting fees, coaching fees, training in different things. You can really run it all from one software. So I'm
Mm,
really excited to get it out there. I
yeah, it
was
does sound
testing it
amazing.
today at work, actually. Sorry to interrupt you.
Carry on, no, please.
And we had a customer saying, "Can you price me up for a full house carpet clean?" So I went on to CADI. I took photos of every room and it threw a price out. I had a price in my head of what I would charge, and it was £2 or £3 different. So I was jumping, jumping up and down in joy.
Yeah,
And
that is
then I
amazing.
just pressed send. It texted her the quote branded straight away. And she came running out of her office and said, "Rhianna, what is this?" So then I explained it to her as well.
Wow, that sounds amazing. Yeah, I think you're going to help a lot of people with this as well. And a quick question then when it comes to the development side of this, just for you
Yeah,
personally. I don't know. I don't think you've had any, you could say, software development experience in the past.
nothing.
How did you take that leap? Because that's quite a big leap from being a business owner to doing something as this.
So
What gave you the
I
courage?
think the my personality is try everything yourself first. If you can't do it, then obviously ask for help or hire. So I just thought, right, I'm gonna get online, I'm gonna figure everything out. I'm going to ask questions, ask AI, how am I going to do this? And I have completely vibe coded everything down to from the app to the website. Everything is now copyrighted to us. We have complete control over everything. There's a lot of authentication processes in place to keep everything encrypted. And I've just learned along the way.
Yeah.
It's been frustrating, I'll tell you that. I want to throw my Mac quite a few times, but the whole process I really enjoyed. The whole build, asking cleaners for feedback, and really making this really bespoke for the industry. I think I'm going to piss a lot of people off.
In which way? What do you mean?
There's stuff in there that's never been done before that I think a lot of the more VC backed companies will want,
Mm,
because obviously we're all a self build. Nothing's white labeled. Everything's us. There's tools in there that people have never seen before. One of the parts I love is we've completely gamified the app where you'll log in and you get a business score. I'll send you a picture of the what the
Please.
leaderboard looks like. So you can compete against cleaning companies around the country, but you're not competing on revenue. You're competing on how well your business is run,
Mm.
which is really fun.
And how does it work out? What's a
So
well-run business?
we include things like revenue, profit margins, voicing, customer churn rate, retention, lifetime value. There's a whole algorithm of how what it calculates from your data. It then throws you out a score out of 100, and then it will tell you where you are on the leaderboard. And then you get little badges like Snapchat badges.
Wow, wow, that's definitely innovative, but I like it because I could see
Yeah.
how that could make it for like more of a community as well. It's a community-based app,
Of
yes.
course, yeah. And I think because a lot of cleaning companies are solo, they're pretty
Mm,
much, it's just me, myself, and I. When they can compete with other people around the country without, it's not revenue based. So they're not looking at how much money they're making. They're looking at how well their business is run. And I think that would be something to be really proud of.
yeah, I can see how that would definitely work and it would motivate someone to take it to the next
Yeah.
level. Yeah,
What's
amazing.
annoying me is in my demo mode, every time I log on, it puts me bottom. And I'm like, I created it. Why am I at the bottom?
There's no nepotism there.
Yeah.
So, do you guys have any integrations, or is it like a one size fits all? Do you think would someone need to have like, other software, or do you reckon CADI would be able to just handle it all?
Everything's in a CADI. We're just working on at the moment how to turn it into an offline app as well. So,
Yeah.
say they're on the train or on the plane, they can be messing around with their business and scanning, scheduling and planning, all that stuff.
Wow.
But that's irritating me at the moment because it's not going how I want it to.
That's a lot more complicated, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So, where can people learn more about CADI if they're interested and they want to maybe get a beta version? And when is it released? When you're
So
planning?
by the time this episode airs, the caddy.cleaning will be live and you can join the waitlist there. There's a whole interactive demo page where you can go and play around. It feels like you're in the app, which I really love, and you can just mess around with the tools. And I have created a page as well where you can go and test out your business score, like I was just saying with the leaderboard. And some of the stats will be thrown into that as well. So there'll be live scores. So you can start competing completely for free.
Mm. Sounds good. I'll definitely make sure to include a link to that, the description
Perfect.
as well.
Thank you.
Amazing as well. Rihanna, if we can, I'd like to do a bit of a quick fire round just to give us a little bit of a
So
break, brain up as well. So I want you, if possible, you've been really well so far, to give a quick, succinct answer. Don't overthink. I know that's harder
God,
to,
yeah,
but no way. There's no right, there's no wrong answers. You just want a quickish answer. Okay. So one thing most cleaning businesses underestimate.
pricing.
Thank you. One thing that quietly kills profit.
Going crazy in the cleaner shops, like on products and new stuff and all the shiny things.
I like it. Thanks. One thing that creates the most stress day to day.
Staff.
Honest. One thing that's made the biggest difference in your business. Yeah, and you can say CADI if you want.
I'd say freedom, having the freedom to plan your own schedule, make your own hours. It gets very addictive to want to work all the time and do more, more, more. But when you can really work out how your profit margins sit in, you can realize then I can take a Friday off and I can still afford to run the week. And it feels really good.
I like it. I like it. One thing you do differently if starting again.
Slow down.
Someone said the same thing this morning. That's very interesting. You
Really,
can relax.
yeah.
No more quick fire questions. No more
Love
quick fire
it.
questions. No. Now, let's try and think a bit bigger. I know, obviously, I can tell you're very entrepreneurial and thinking bigger. So, what would you say success would look like in terms for CADI? What would success look
Having notifications pop up on my phone, not for people downloading it, but for people using it. I've really made it very aesthetically pleasing to be screenshotted, to be shared online. And I think that's really going to like warm me up inside seeing that, especially the leaderboard, because there's no financial data, there's nothing personal. It's just your business name and this whole really cool chart of how well you're doing.
like? Yeah, I think that's going to be great to see. I can imagine how it would warm your heart as well.
Yeah.
What a question. Where do you see the industry, the cleaning industry, heading in the future in the next few years?
We're getting very techy. And I think when I was doing a lot of research for CADI, what I noticed is there's 99% of cleaning businesses are still independently owned. So majority of the businesses, I think there's around 80,000 currently, are all independently owned, like the same as me and Chris. So having something like CADI to really support your business and to ensure that you outlast other cleaning companies is really where I want to see the industry going, not being taken over by what people think is a lot of giants. There's not that many when you do the data. It's all small companies. And just
Yeah,
having them run really well, I think
mm,
I'd love to see.
yeah, that sounds good. I think I definitely agree with you as well. So, what would you say maybe separates the businesses that scale from those who stay stuck?
I'd say overthinking your decisions. I think people get stuck in their head. They do so much time, they spend so much time procrastinating on what they want to do for the business, they get nothing done. And I think
Yeah.
that's where I differentiate myself. I just keep going until I burn out.
I mean, it's clearly working for now as well. And I think, yeah, speed is king, as the old saying in business as well. Yeah.
100%.
Amazing. Be honest. Now, these are my two closing questions that, I asked. I'd like for you to come in the back of my DeLorean. I want to take you to April 2027. Now, 2026 has been an amazing year for Mackeys. You've continued to scale, but at a proper rate, not when you can handle it. It's
Yeah.
been an amazing success. You open up your Instagram, you've been tagged here, you've been tagged on Facebook, you've got the leaderboards all over. It's been a real success. You have a real genuine feedback and people telling you how much it's really impacted their lives. Now, what would need to happen between now and then to make you feel that 2026 has been a really successful year?
They just keep going on the path that we're on and don't look back. I think when you start to look back and overthink stuff, that's where it all spirals out of control. For me, I'm just pushing forward, I'm getting it out there, even though it makes me so nervous inside. We've got our launch coming up, and I'm thinking, what if no one signs up? What if it's just me on my own? And that's what I'll be looking back on is knowing that I've gone for it.
Mm, I love that. You've done your part. The universe will take care of the rest.
Exactly.
Now, Rihanna, you did mention freedom earlier, and I think you're gonna give a great answer. Not that there's any wrong answers. That's a rather philosophical question, but I think ultimately life does come down to this. And the question is, what does freedom mean to you?
So many things. Mine and Chris's ultimate goal is to have a farm abroad and to just have all our kids and our dogs on our farm, homeschooling, living life, working on the farm, and running our companies from our laptops. So for me, freedom will really be location freedom, time freedom, all that stuff, all the stuff I don't have currently because I'm working 24/7 like an absolute dog. Just having the time, just waking up, checking the laptop, checking the animals, hanging out with the kids. For me, that will be the ultimate freedom.
I love it. That's a beautiful description. And we have no doubt that you'll get there, especially because, Rihanna, we just want to take a moment to thank you. You're not scared to take, I guess you could say, risks, but also to put yourself out there. Coming on this podcast, starting in the software game, taking a step back from the business, even when you did have growth, and thinking, oh, hang on, how can we do things properly?
Yeah,
Even initially taking the big step across into the industry as well. And it's really encouraging to see as well that you're not doing this. There's not one mention of profit or money, which is not a problem. You get into business. I can see that you're doing this to genuinely help people, which ultimately is a really beautiful thing to see. And I think the world needs more people like yourself. And we wish you and we know all the best of success with CADI. We're looking forward to hearing all the launches, and I'll make sure to get as many links and descriptions that people can use that because it's going to benefit them.
perfect.
Yeah. It's been a real pleasure and a privilege. Thank you so much for sharing your insights. And yeah, thank you so much for coming on to the
Thank
current.
you. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thank you.